Hello, sacred souls. It's Susanna from Alamanic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is letting go of comparing ourselves to others and to not feeling good enough in that comparison. Feeling that we could do better, we could be better, and so on, right? And there's really two things that guided me for tonight's topic. First of all, last night I had a dream where I saw a former adult ESL student of mine, and I had helped her in the past. And she was now teaching adult ESL in different countries, like over the summer, right? So over the holidays. And I was feeling, even though I was happy for her, but I was feeling somewhat inadequate, like I should be doing better, even though this is no longer what I really want to do anyhow. Like, I don't really want to teach anymore, right? But in the dream, I felt like she was doing better than me, right? So the message was that other people are doing better than I am, in a sense, right? And with that, I would say, like, a lot of times when we have our own insecurities, we can feel envy or even jealousy. And again, in some videos, people use them interchangeably, whereas my distinction, based on my understanding how I always felt about those two words, was envious is more that I'm happy for the other person, but I also want what they have, which I don't right now, right? Or at this point in time. Whereas jealous is that I want what someone else has, but I don't want them to have it. So that's how I always understood the difference between those two words. And that's how I think about it, right? But either way, you can decide how you want to feel about it, but it should cover both of those anyway in this healing. So then I started using, I actually pulled out my old kerchiefs that I've had since my childhood, and I had them bunched up actually in a plastic bag in my sock drawer for emergencies, right? And since I was running low on Kleenex, I pulled them out. And you can see, obviously, they've been bunched up and not been ironed, and sorry, no time for that. But these were very, very common. So basically, they're like 40, 50 years old. Back then in Germany, most people were already using Kleenex or like the equivalent company, right? Tempo was the equivalent company there. But yeah, paper kerchiefs, right? Paper handkerchiefs. But everybody, as far as I know, also even amongst my friends, I believe, still had a stash of these in their armoire. Closets weren't common. They weren't really built in, so we had armoires, but same idea, right? So here I have one of Donald Duck and the Three Nephews, and I have one of Mickey Mouse, and I believe those two are probably two that I inherited from my brother. I'm assuming, because some of the stuff was passed down to me that he didn't want anymore. I know I got all his old comic books when he had outgrown them, right? So they may have actually been mine, but either way, like, it reminds me of how my mother, I don't think she even knowingly did that, but she always kind of labeled us in different ways. So there was an indirect comparison in a sense. So in her mind, and she verbalized that as well, my brother was the smart one and I was the nice one. And for anyone who's just listening, I put air quotes there, right? So obviously to a child's mind, that also implies if you're called the nice one and the other one the smart one, that you consider yourself not as smart or not smart enough. And vice versa. I'm sure my brother probably felt like she was indirectly telling him that he wasn't nice, right? And my cousins, actually my mother's cousins' daughters, because my mom was an only child, but also from the maternal lineage, they grew up resenting each other because their mother kind of did the same thing to them, that she was always kind of comparing them to each other, and they felt they resented each other until as adults they eventually talked about it, right? So this can often be a pattern in dysfunctional families, in families where there is narcissistic abuse, whether the parents are aware of it or not, and whether they're working on themselves or not. But I think especially in the past, a lot of parents didn't think too much about what they were doing. I mean, awareness has really increased a lot over the past 50 years or so, I'm guessing. I'm not sure of the exact time frame here. But so now is really the time to heal and let go of comparison, comparing ourselves to others. All we need to do is compare ourselves to how we used to be to see the improvement, the healing that we have done already. But at every moment in time, we've done the best we could with the awareness and consciousness that we had at that time, right? And everyone is divine and uniquely different. So there's no point in comparing us to anyone else. Yet most people do it, right? I mean, everyone has amazing talents and abilities, but if they compare themselves to others, in every aspect you can find someone who might actually be able to do something better than you. But it doesn't really matter. Like, we need to let go of that, right? So I know when I was younger, I always disliked competing and doing anything competitive, because I always felt like, the other kids were kind of like my brothers and sisters. So why would I want to compete with them, right? So inherently, as a starseed, or as an earth angel, I had that in me. However, enough of it was, well, I don't know if I can say educated out of me. It was programmed out of me. That's the better word. Sorry. Yeah, right. So, and I know that probably happened to many of us, and we have to try to return to that pure and innocent way of seeing ourselves and seeing others in that light as well. They're unique in their own way, and that's it, right? Without comparisons. All right, so let's get to it. We're going to smudge and then get right to it. So the visuals I have for today are really just the handkerchiefs that inspired or partially inspired the topic for today. But I think also, especially in our process of being more in harmony with Earth, with Mother Earth, so many of us are returning to using more reusable products again rather than disposable. And I know, especially if you actually have a cold, sometimes you might go through a lot, but at least we can make an effort and try. And if they're all dirty and you don't have time to do the laundry, then you can still go back to paper a little bit until you have had time to wash them. But I think in the meantime, maybe we can also get more bit by bit, right? And just make that shift slowly without stressing ourselves out, but just sort of go back to those ways that our ancestors actually lived anyhow. All right, enough said. Let's smudge. Please cleanse, clear, and renew all of our energies and take away anything dark, low vibrational, and unhealed, and transmute it into pure divine essence, and reconnect us to our own inner divinity, as well as that all around us. And through that, help us be in oneness with all of creation again. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. All right, dear divine higher power of the universe, our higher selves, our higher spirit guides of the light, our ancestors that are in the light, dear Mother Earth, powers of all four directions, powers of the east, powers of the south, powers of the west, powers of the north, powers of all four elements, air, earth, fire, and water, and all other benevolent powers, forces, spirits, and beings of the universe that are of the light. Please join the ceremony and assist the healings, prayers, and protection with all of your powers. Thank you. Please close the circle of protection around us. Thank you. Oh yeah, there's a feeling that I kind of want to cough something up, like wanting to say something, but it's not clear yet. So a sense of almost feeling a little bit suffocated or almost like strangled, but not quite. So yeah, I think it's that I feel it's that truth that we've been holding back and holding in, that we didn't verbalize the pain that we felt when we were compared to others, that instead we internalized it and accepted it as truth rather than rejecting it. Yeah, that's what I'm sensing. So let us pull out and let go of any of our own truth that we've swallowed down, held back, and held in, and let it be sent into the light, into the fire, to be burnt away and transmuted into divine essence, and let it be returned to the universe for reintegration, and to let those divine energies flow back into us and calm our system, our throat chakra that has suffered from us not speaking our truth, from not speaking up when we were wronged, when we were indirectly put down, when we believed it, when we accepted that as our truth when we shouldn't have. And let us pull out all hurt, pain, suffering, all insecurities and fears that are associated with feeling not good enough, not going for our dreams, not trying our hardest, or stopping something because we feel we've lost our motivation or inspiration because of those fears. Those insecurities that were planted in us, all those dark seeds shall be pulled out of us and put into the fire to be transmuted into divine essence and returned to the universe for reintegration. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. Oh. Oof. And let all those energies be reharmonized. Let all of our energy flow freely and abundantly. Let our self-worth, our self-esteem, and our belief in ourselves be restored. Let us now embrace new opportunities and new things coming into our lives, new blessings, new abundance, well, abundance in general, that was blocked because of that lack of self-confidence that we basically shut out because we didn't believe we deserved it. Please repeat after me. I deserve to be healthy, happy, lucky, rich, and successful. And I claim it now. Abundance and opportunities flow to me easily and effortlessly now. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön. All my relations. All our relations. Oh. Oh. Okay, let us take a deep breath in, breathing in the pure divine essence. And breathe it out. And let us breathe out any remaining darkness associated with this topic. And let this healing take place throughout all of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities, multi and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect us in this lifetime and moving forward. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön. All my relations, all our relations. And I forgot to mention it. And of course, this healing shall take place physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, energetically, and karmically. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön. All my relations. All right, everyone. If you'd like to stay in these energies a bit longer, please pause the video. For the rest of us, let the ceremony now be finished, and let us give massive amounts of love, thanks, gratitude, and blessings to our divine team. Thank you so, so much. And please open the circle of protection around us, but keep us strongly safe, shielded, and protected at all times. Protect us with the divine 12D shield of golden light, and seal our energy field to keep us strongly safe, shielded, and protected. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön. All my relations. All our relations. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, for being a part of the ceremony, and for being on your own healing and ascension journey. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And I'm also sending you tons of love, light, and blessings. Be well until next time, and I wish you great abundance. May truth and integrity always be with you. Bye.